haven't been live in let me see 3 days, and none of you checked up on me to know I haven't been live. Anyways, that's fine. Today is Monday evening. It's past 10 p.m. Um, I had a great day and a stressful day at the same time, but at the end of the day, I'm grateful to God for the privilege, for the opportunity, to do the things that I did today, to meet the people that I met. And as much as I know that today could have gone better, I also know that today could have been worse. So I'm still grateful, I'm still thankful, I'm still appreciative of the journey. I recognize that some things have to happen for other things to happen, right? It is one thing that triggers another thing. And the thing is that sometimes a bad thing has to happen for a good thing to happen, because it's that bad thing that's going to give way for the good thing to happen, right? So I've learned not to complain, though I'm not complacent when, what I think are bad things when they happen. I'm not complacent, but at the same time, I've learned not to worry too much about them, right? I just do my best, and I believe that, okay, if I've done my best and the situation is still not getting better, then there's probably a reason why this situation is happening at this particular moment. There is probably a reason why this thing needs to happen. So basically, I've just learned to do my best and rest. And in the last 1 year, I've matured a lot. That's the truth. In the last 1 year has really been like very eye-opening for me. A lot has happened. I feel like I've lived 3 lives in the last 1 year, and I think I still feel like, though I think I've experienced a lot in the last 1 year, I still know that there's a lot more for me to experience. There's a lot more risk I could have taken. There's a lot more I could have done. But at the same time, I'm learning to move at my own pace. I'm learning to give myself grace. I'm learning not to, get many steps ahead of myself. I'm learning to appreciate the moments, the moments that come. Yeah, so basically, one day at a time. This evening I want to talk about something, and it's titled Reacting Slowly. Now, when I say reacting slowly, I'm not saying don't react at all. Okay, someone is on the live. Let me say hi. Hi, Bonifacio Ibrelin. Okay, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Hi, welcome to the live. I hope you had a great day. Thank you for being here. So now, when I say reacting slowly, I'm not saying that when things happen that you shouldn't react, or when things occur that you should just be stiff about it. What I'm saying is that it's not every situation that demands 100% response at the time, and some situations don't deserve an over dramatic response. And sometimes, if you react in the heat of the moment, you are angry, you are upset, you are, reacting immediately, so you might overreact or you might underreact, right? So when certain things happen, especially things that are heavy, things that are weighty, things that have an impact on your emotions, things that have an impact on how you feel, right? When certain things happen, I think we should wait a bit before we react. And we are all different. You know yourself better. Are you the overly emotional type? Are you the angry type, right? You know if you have the tendencies to overreact. So when certain things happen and you can feel yourself on the verge of, having an outburst or something, it's totally fine to take a minute to like think about what has happened, to reflect before you give an answer. It's not wise to be too quick to speak, because when you speak in a hurry, you can say things that when you're finally calm, you might regret them, or you might wish you hadn't said them, or you might wish that you worded them, better, right? So sometimes, especially in heated situations, someone like me, I don't like to engage in heated arguments, because I know, the impact of that. I know the repercussion of that. I know the consequences of having a heated argument where both of you are saying hurtful things. It's now a competition of who can say the most hurtful things, who can hurt the other person the most. It's no longer about the problem. It's not about winning. It's about having the upper hand. It's about making the other person feel more bad than they have made you feel, right? So in that moment, you can say things that you don't mean to say. You can say things that you don't necessarily mean. You can say things that you later on wish you didn't say. So it's the wise thing to do is to take moments to reflect. It's to step back from the situation. Like, there's a lot of power in silence. People feel like if you're silent, you're a dummy, you don't know what you're doing. Wrong, false. There's a lot of power in being silent. There's a lot of power in, waiting. There's a lot of power in being calculated. When you react too quick, you overreact, right? You might even react wrongly. But there's a lot of power in, being still, being patient, thinking about what just happened, processing the whole things. Now, at the same time, like I said earlier, we all react to things differently, and our levels of processing things are very different. Some people process things like quick, right? They've analyzed the situation and they know the best thing to do. But there are certain people that process situations quite slow, right? So even if they are reacting in that moment, they have not really fully understood the impact of what just happened. They have not really fully understood the gravity of what just occurred. So sometimes their reactions may even be underwhelming, right? It's like a situation where people expect you to be angry, people expect you to, like, there are certain situations that demand that you put your feet down and say, no, I don't support this. There are certain people in these situations, they are not able to do that because they react slowly to things. They have not really processed the gravity of the situation, so they are not able to show the level of anger, hate, and disgust that they should be showing at the moment, right? I say that sometimes, and especially for people who are popular, people who are celebrities, right? You come online, like, I feel as a person, you should know your limits, you should know your capacity, right? You come on a live interview, you know that you don't react to things quickly. You come on a live interview, you're being asked questions, but because you're the type of person that you don't process things as fast, okay, people are asking you, the interviewer is asking you a question that demands that you put your feet down and say that no, you're not in support of this bad thing, but because of how slow you process things, you're not able to do that right now. That clip is captured and it's posted online, and people have many things to say that, oh, you don't have morals, you're not standing up for what's wrong, blah blah blah, but they don't know that you just process things really slowly. On the other hand, I feel like we should not continually put ourselves in situations that don't favor us. That's why I said you should know yourself. As an adult, you should know yourself, you should know your capacity, your limits. You should know what you are able to tackle and what you cannot. You should know what you're able to give. You should know the ways you're able to show up. There are some people that I see them, they don't grant interviews, right? Because they know that giving interviews is not their strong point, right? Some people are not able to process things fast. Like if you ask them a question now on the spot, they're not able to give you a proper answer on the spot. It's not like you're not smart. So if they go home and think about this thing, they'll probably be able to come up with something so intelligent, something so wise, but they are just not fast thinkers. So on the spot, they cannot give you a proper answer that you're looking for. So everybody should know their self, their capacity, what they can do, what they cannot do, their limits and all of that. It will really, really help you in life because you know the situations that you put yourself in, and you know the situations that you would refuse altogether. Now, we're still talking about the topic, which is reacting slowly, right? There's a lot of power in not having an outburst. There's a lot of power in reacting to things slowly. Sometimes, yeah, by the time you give the situation room to breathe. Okay, let me give you guys this scenario, right? Because there's I'm about to explain something, but it happened today also. I'm just even now realizing that okay, this thing happened today, and I can tell the story as an example. So I went to make my hair today. Yes, I just made this hair today, which is why it's not coming out the way it should because it's very new. So I went to make my hair today at the salon. If you're Nigerian, then you probably understand, currency. You probably understand currency, right? And the value and the words. But if you're not Nigerian, you may not understand the worth of the money that I'm talking about. So I went to make my hair today, and the lady before me, because when I got there, I had to wait. I didn't book an appointment, but when I got there, when I got there, I had to wait for the person that the hairdresser was attending to. Now, when the hairdresser was done with the lady, she told the lady that the bill for the hair was 5,000 naira, and the lady said no, that what she had was 3,000 naira, that's what she had. And lady was trying to say that before she even started to make her hair, she had told her that the price was 5,000 naira, but the customer said no, what she had was 3,000 naira. So she brought out the cash, she gave it to the hairdresser, and she left. Even while she was leaving, the hairdresser refused to collect the money. She just dropped it on the table because that kind of hair, you cannot make that hair for 3,000 naira. It's too low, it's too poor. There is nobody that's going to make that type of hair for you for 3,000 naira. She said even that 5,000 naira is a good price she's giving the lady, right? But the lady was like, no. So if the hairdresser was someone that was hot tempered, quick to react, they would have gotten into an argument, they would have exchanged words, she would have refused to let the customer go, she would have been harsh and rude. But she just dropped the money on the table and she told the woman that this money that you're giving me, this is not the worth of what I did. I cannot accept this money. That is even better you take the money back and stuff like that. But the customer didn't listen, she just left. Now I'm telling this story because I was in salon for quite a number of hours, right? While I was still there, the lady drove back to the salon to give the hairdresser the balance of the money. She said when she got home that her husband was like, wow, this hair is so nice. Oh, where did you make it? The hair is beautiful, it suits you. So she felt bad that she didn't pay for the hair completely. She had to drive back and balance up the hairdresser. When she came back, she was even like, oh, that she apologized for leaving the way that she did, that she didn't pay complete, that her husband really complimented the hair, sorry for the way she spoke to her, blah blah blah. So she just apologized and they settled. Excuse me. Now the moral of the story is this: sometimes if you don't overreact, the situation settles itself. Do you get like, people, like, if you're silent here, people go, they realize their mistakes and they come back. But if you overreact, there will be no room for them to realize that mistake, because they will say, ah, she also treated me badly, she said bad words at me, she pushed me, she hurled insults at me, blah blah blah. But if you're just calm and calculated in this situation and you let them do whatever, when they go, they would have a reflection of what happened, right? And they realize their faults and their mistakes, and they would make amends. Even if they don't, right, at the end of the day, you're still vindicated in any way. I just feel like it's always better to be on the good side, on the winning side. That's how I see things, right? Generally, I don't like confrontations. I don't engage in confrontations, like saying words back and forth. I don't engage in that at all. I just feel like it's always better to be on the good side. It's always better to be on the winning side in all situations. In all situations, right? Because you never really can tell. Something so little can escalate into something more. There's a video I was watching one time, right? They were having an argument at the compound, right? It started off basic, like just saying what, like two men. It started off basic, just saying what to each other, like this person is saying this, that person is saying that, and they're just like going back and forth. Before you know, like, you know how this stands out if you're having a confrontation, because that's what it is. That's a confrontation right there. Okay, you're like, it becomes a competition. Like if I say something hurtful to you, you want to say something worse to me, and that's how it increases. And from like confrontation, you definitely, like, one person will definitely be overly triggered and they want to get physical, right? They want to like lay their hands on the other person, they want to like react physically, right? So this scenario, that was how it started, like just saying what to each other, and before you know it, weapons got into play. Somebody broke a bottle and they like started stabbing each other. Like it got so serious. I think someone died or something. The both of them were rushed to the hospital anyways. So something so small can escalate into something so big. Like, how do you think domestic arguments occur, domestic incidents occur, domestic accidents, right? Or this person stabbed this person, that, like, little things heat up. Like two people that are angry, I don't believe they can stay together, because one, they will definitely overreact on each other, right? Two people that have anger issues, they can't stay together. Okay, so I think we should really be careful of how we react over things. It's not all situations that demand that you react in the moment, because if you start reacting, you tend to overreact. You might not even know it, you might not even acknowledge it, but you are definitely overreacting. So it's something we should really like be mindful of, be careful of, pay attention to, that you are not overreacting in the moment. I understand, I understand how it is, that sometimes we cannot help ourselves, that sometimes we don't want the other person to get away with it, that sometimes we feel like our voice needs to be heard, sometimes we feel like, we have to show ourselves, we have to show what we can do, what we are capable of. Sometimes we feel like we don't want the other person to intimidate us or belittle us, so we have to like overdo things, but it's not always necessary. Okay, so like it's more important to choose peace. And then again, I think it also boils down to personality. Like different people with different personalities, some people choose peace over everything else. But some people, their ego is so big, they don't want anybody to look down on them. They have to show that, they are superior, they can fight, you can't talk to them this way, you can't look down on them. They have to like show themselves. So at the end of the day, everything still boils down to your character as a person. But I still stand on the fact that it is not always necessary to react 100% to the moment. Learn to react slowly. And when I mean slowly, I mean take in the whole scenario before you react. Excuse me. It's the same way somebody sends you a message, right? A message that is meant to trigger you, and you don't react immediately. Because if you react immediately, you say something that when you wake up tomorrow and you look at the message, you will not be proud of what you wrote there, right? So I do that sometimes, especially in business, like when dealing with customers. Some customers can definitely be agitated, right? They can be agitated, they can be impatient, they can be rude, and all of that. So when it comes to texting, I'm never in a hurry to reply the customer immediately. I always think about what's the logical thing to say here and not the emotional thing to say, right? What's the logical way to handle this situation right now? So, like, this topic is so broad, so I feel like we would revisit it another day. But thank you so much for listening in. I do appreciate you. Bye.